Hey, everybody. Yeah, you know what? This is the way I'm going to start doing things. I'm going to make sure that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are my regular days, but I give myself permission not to live stream Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Okay. But if I do show up, is that okay? You know, my hands are so sore. Hang on. Hang on a second. Okay. Excuse me, folks. I know I should have done this before, but I'm running behind and I have to medicate right now because I'm about to commence chopping celery. Let's see if I can just take the top off my turbine here enough so I can get at the. Hey, Dallas. How's it going? And to keep this straight, I keep it in that little pink thing. I keep it in my roller. No, except that it makes it kind of crooked. I don't know. How's okay? Oh yeah, chopping hands. I'm gonna have chopping hands because I'm canning this celery. I just got out of bed at 12:30. Okay, like an hour and a half ago. And let me tell you something. Poor Raf Jolie. There she is. Hi, sweetheart. Raf Jolie was supposed to come today around 1 o'clock and harvest celery. And guess what? I I didn't sleep well at all last night. It got -3. So the potatoes have to come out this weekend. The celery has to come out this weekend. So Raf, come tomorrow, okay? My house is an absolute disaster, and I this is the honest to God's truth. My house is a shambles, and I wanted to offer Raf a cup of tea, and I'm ashamed right now because I haven't been able to sweep or vacuum in over a week. And I'm barely getting dishes done because I'm canning like crazy, right? So basic dishes, people are, it's hi baby, hi baby. So tomorrow I'm gonna get my celery chopped today. I'm gonna get it canned today, and I'm gonna do a video, and then I'm gonna clean up. With I have a hard time sleeping when Briar's in the living room because he sleeps with a light on because he has night terrors. And he sleeps with a light on, not because he's afraid of the dark, but if he wakes up and opens his eyes, he needs to be able to get his bearings and remember where he is. Right. And last night he was talking in his sleep. And so I worry about him. And he had an earache last night. So I wrapped up get this, I wrapped up a big Heinz ketchup bottle full of hot water and wrapped it in a towel and told him to lay his ear on it. And that gave him some relief. But you have to be careful with putting your ear on a hot water bottle. If you have an infection around your eardrum, you can rupture it. So please, folks, I'm not a doctor. I have to gauge whether it could be just dirty water in his ear that he needs to draw out or whatever. Never quit being a mama. No. So I messaged Raf Jolie. And I know, sweetheart, but I mean, first impressions mean a lot. And my house is a shambles. It's canning season, period, full stop. So I woke up and I messaged Raf. I woke up at 6:30 because I knew I had to get up at 7:30 for Briar. So I could get back to sleep, but it was just dozing because I knew I was going to wake up. You know how it goes when you wake up an hour before your alarm. It's like, okay, I'm never going to get back to proper sleep, right? But Howie woke up. His alarm went off, and I said, "What's your alarm going off for?" He said, "Racing." He's not racing anymore, but he forgot to shut off his alarm. So he said, "I'll take Briar today." I said, "Oh, God bless you." So I messaged Raf. I went back to sleep. I got back to sleep around 8, and I slept off and on with Gracie until about 12:30. And I woke up and I looked at the clock and I looked at my phone. And Briar said, "Mommy, call me." Was the message. He sent me a text message. So I phoned him without even getting out of bed and said, what's going on? He goes, my earache's still bugging me. Can you bring me some Tylenol? And I made minestrone soup yesterday. Oh, I know, Sue. I know. I know. Oh, and if you haven't read the show more info box, thank you to everybody who has donated towards my KitchenAid. I'm halfway there. I'm halfway there. Thank you so much. And where I'm ordering it from is a Canadian company, and they're giving me free shipping, and it's on sale. So this is all really, really good news. Oh, I'm going to ask Howie to bring me in the friggin' heater because I have the heater shut off in here. It's completely disconnected, my baseboard heater, because this room is so small that I have to put, stuff in front of the heater. Tipping is okay, Terry. Thank you, honey. Thank you. You guys don't have to do that. Thank you so much. Hi, Candy. Let me say hi to everybody because of course, I come in here and I just start talking, right? So remind me what I was talking about in a minute. Hi, Dallas Red, Donna Holland, Jean Phillips, Joe Mama, Candy Olson, Kay, the Country Wife's Kitchen. It's been a bit. And same for Michelle Stark. Hi, Nana. C'est moi. Ralph Jolie, Sue, Downtown Mini Homesteader, Terry White, and Trina Bomer. How's everybody doing? Now, let me pop out my chat and let me bring it back over here and go to live. I wasn't expecting you guys or asking you guys to pay for my KitchenAid. That is not. I had already made up my mind that I was going to make sure that I had enough money at the end of this month so that I could start baking season with a working KitchenAid, right? So I'm really, really grateful to you guys. So thank you. Thank you for all the help you've been giving me towards this KitchenAid. The thing's $849. And you guys have donated like 430. So it's like I'm halfway there. Hey, Mama Cat, how you doing, sweetheart? Hey, Furby. Furia, good morning. So anyway, let me medicate before I commence to chopping because my hands are, and it's not just my hands. It was really cold last night, but when I went to bed, I was hot. So I opened my window and I froze and I tossed, I turned. And when you get into that sleep where you're cold, but you just don't want to get up because if you get up, you're going to be awake. So you just roll back over. Oh, God bless you. So anyway, I woke up and I had made minestrone soup yesterday for canning. I got 14 quarts. One of them didn't seal. And I think I forgot to wipe the rim, honestly. And it's a bit of a messy soup because it's mostly veg. And so I put that jar in the fridge. It was a 750 ml jar. It was 3/4 of a quart. So when Briar left for work this morning, he had a cup of tea and I gave him this jar of soup. And I said, take it off, the lid off, put it in the microwave at work and heat it up and you'll have lunch. So I got the email or the message this morning, call me. So I called him and he goes, Mom, can you bring me a bowl for my soup? And I went, just heat up the jar. No, because I gave him a little bit of mozzarella cheese to sprinkle on top, right? And when it was heated. And he goes, no, I need a bowl. So I took him my old 4-cup Tupperware thing because it's Briar, okay? And a plastic spoon and 2 Tylenol because his ear was hurting. So I pretty much just got back from doing that. Like I got up at 12:30. Oh, Howie's is going to be pulling potatoes this weekend, but today he pulled the engine out of the car. You should see the shop. Like it's not a barn anymore; it's a shop. He's still. Oh, you bloody right! You're going to get an unboxing. Ha 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 ha. And the color, thanks for helping me. Well, I guess they have different colors, but the pewter is the one I want because I'm actually considering repainting the kitchen, dining room, living room in a dove gray. And so, because then every color fits, right? Got my meds, not so bad, never gone, but always ease. And yeah, I hear you, honey. Pain never goes away. And hubby brought me a new bong to use with med with some screens to make it easier for me to use it. Hope it works. Killing him when pain in. I hope it works for me. Absolutely. Oh, I'm going to bake bread this year. Now that I have one that's big enough to let me make bread for the week, I'm gonna. Full stop. Not too sure about going gluten free. I'm glad too, Kara. I'm glad too I made it because you know what? I could sit out in the kitchen and film me chopping celery, but you've all seen that. So I might as well do it in live when I don't need the footage because I'm canning it today. Oh, the pewter goes good. Well, my kitchen, if you notice my tile, it was a really cheap job. I hate it, but I'm used to it now. It was all we could afford. We bought all the white tiles and then we interspersed it with the little square ones. And they're kind of in greens and grays and blues, right? So gray will go with everything. You missed what I said. What did I say? Well, that's a stupid question. My kitchen is grays and concrete. Well, and I'm going to have a stainless island top. I don't care if I get the stainless island top this year. I'm picking my battles. I do, however, need the extra electrical over at the end of the island, or there's no room on my counter for that KitchenAid. Waiting for cooler weather to begin more baking again. You just healed, Dallas. Don't be going crazy. Live vicariously through the rest of us, but you heal first, okay? Oh, yeah, that's right. Excuse me. That wasn't rolled really well. So, when I made the minestrone soup, let's just give that a minute to do its business. Let me show you what's going on here. There's my big bag of celery. That's probably a half a bushel. Here's my stock pot. And here's my paper bag to put my leaves in. Just showing you what I got going on here. Dawn and vinegar. Oh yeah, I do use Dawn and vinegar for absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. Okay, excuse me. My eyes are running, which is a good thing because apparently I have dry eyes. I've got my chopping board here. Where's my big knife? I know I just sharpened it. Where's my big knife? There it is. You know what? It's my favorite knife. It's my favorite knife. When it comes to kitchen chopping, it's my standard. This is an 8-inch chef's knife. You can see that I keep it well sharpened. It's, chopped like crazy. Peroxide and brush. That way, no bleach. What are we talking about? Any tips on cleaning bathroom tile grout? Oh, God, yes. Dawn and vinegar. And let it sit. I picked these last night. I got to cut the ends off them. And they're dirty. That's why they're going into a stock pot of clean water. Let's get the leaves out of here. Dawn and vinegar. Spray it on. Have you seen the new Dawn cleaner now? Just spray it on and let it soak and wipe it off. It's Dawn and vinegar. It really is. I laugh whenever I see that commercial. I'm pretty sure they should have hired me a long time ago as a spokesperson for Dawn. Really. Made celery salt with the leaves and used... Oh, I might do that. Thank you, Furby. I just might do that. Now, I could use my chopper for these, but I really don't want to. Why? Because I want it to look like celery, not like little square bits. It's one thing when it's in soup, but it's another... Oh, yeah. It's another when it's... It's another when you have it in a jar and you're going to put it in a casserole or something. You want celery to look like celery, right? You want it to represent itself. So as I go, I'm just cutting the leaves off and cutting them down. I dried my leaves, then powdered them. Well, that's what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to wash these leaves. I'm going to pick the best. And I'm going to... Oh, we got a bit of frost last night. It was -3 Celsius last night. So, does anyone have dried nasturtiums? Mine were eaten by deer. Candy, I'm going to try and harvest those this weekend and dry them. I had no idea they're a vine. Did you know that? They go nuts. So, I like the idea of the celery salt. So, I think I'm going to make some of that with the leaves. Thank you very much, Furby, for that. And I think I'm going to make a celery salt and nasturtium mix as well. So I'll see what I got, Candy, and we'll talk, okay? But I just have not had... Was it you who emailed me and asked me if I could sell you some? Let me see what I can come up with. And if I have enough to share, I'll just send you some, okay? It's not a big deal, sweetheart. It's really not a big deal. I'm going to be mailing out two dehydrators at the end of the month. So, I mean, it's nothing to throw in an envelope of nasturtium leaves. But I will try, okay? I just can't make any promises. I know there's a lot of times I'll say, okay, I'm going to be doing this week. And then 2 weeks go by and you goes, what happened? It's like, I haven't got to it yet. You know what I mean? It's like every day I wake up not sure what I'm going to be able to accomplish, right? So anyway, when I took Briar his bowl and his Tylenol and his plastic spoon, I said, you do realize that your dad drove you today so that I didn't have to come out until tonight. He goes, yeah, I'm sorry. I love my kids so much. I haven't heard back from Arthur, but I've kind of got a plan formulated in my head about what I need from him, and then we just got to work out, can he give me 2 days a week? Because it takes me a day to edit 2 to 3 videos. It takes me a day to edit 3 chapters, and these chapters are all seem to be around 10 minutes long. So Bev question, I grew too much basil this year, can I dry without a dehydrator? Absolutely. You just tie it in bunches, okay? Like loose bunches, but tie the stems together at the bottom and hang them in a well-ventilated, dim room. You don't want it to get direct sunlight, and you want it to be cool, but not cold. And just let them dry. Absolutely. 80 pounds of flour this year, not bad. I have about 75 pounds of flour in my freezer. And if I'm going gluten-free in January, you'll want to see how much bacon I can do between now and then. You have done short, low oven time before. Yeah, if you can get your oven at like 90 degrees, but you don't want to dry it anything higher than 90 degrees in your oven. Why? Ovens have an error rate of 5 degrees. And if your oven happens to run 90 degrees, but it's actually 95, and you set it at 95 because that's the highest you can set any temperature to properly dry herbs. Okay? If you set it in your oven at 95 and it's actually 100, you're going to lose flavor and nutrition. So be really careful if you're going to oven dry it, okay? Oh God, Donna, if you lived closer, I'd be sharing, right? 80 pound of oh, wrong, Patricia. It's the hey Fury, 80 pounds of flour this year. Mine aren't quite ready, and Howie's had to tie them down so that they're not hitting against the plastic see-through roof or they'll get moisture and moldy. So I've told him to put the big box fan in there and just, circulate the air. Maybe you should take burlap and wrap it around, because at the bottom of the greenhouse, it's just skids, right? They're open. It's panels above because that lets air circulation. And two of my windows have vents at the top to allow air circulation. But right now, I think he should wrap it. I have a roll of burlap. I think he should wrap those skids on the outside just to keep some temperature in. Where can I get some seeds for the nasturtiums? Anywhere online. Anywhere online. I have 2 packs of them, but I'm planting them next year. I don't know if I'm going to get it. Just went all over the place. I haven't seen nor heard anything about the pigs. I'm pretty sure it was an isolated incident, right? I mean, back when we first moved here and Barry raised pigs, he'd raised 2 or 3 of them. And those things would come and visit me daily, right? One chased Briar right into the porch because it wanted to talk to him. And Briar's like, oh, no, you don't. And he backed right into the porch, right? So I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was an isolated incident. Like, folks, I was so worried that my celery wasn't doing well. This is homegrown organic celery. I don't know if the seeds were organic. Yeah, they were. The seeds were organic. And look, it's like a bouquet, It's a harvest bouquet. So, seriously, I don't know what I was panicking about. I honestly don't. But, Raph, are you here, sweetheart? You make sure you come down tomorrow to get your celery, okay? Because there's more people coming for celery. I have too many seeds. Too late to grow now. It's too cold here. Too much to absolutely. Don't worry about and Google seed catalogs for your area, like for your state or province. Well, I gotta check because the other day I was chopping celery and I cut a slug in half and I felt really, really bad. As much as I hate slugs, I wouldn't deliberately kill anything. You know what I mean? Like, I let a spider live that had a sponge the size of a dice under her belly. And that sponge was full of hundreds of babies. But you know what? She didn't come back this year. Or the babies didn't, This is the first year I haven't had frogs in my pool and I haven't had a spider in my pool. I don't know if it's been the weather. Oh, that doesn't look good. Ooh, don't knock that over, Bev. Hang on a second here, folks. I'm making a mess of things. Yeah, I had an internally brown stalk. These guys need harvesting. Now I got to pick all those out. This is what this is why you check your celery before you start chopping. Don't just pull the leaves off. Oh, I put it back in the wrong bag. I'm not doing well. I am not doing well, but I'm okay. All right, that should be fine. All right, Dallas, you just be careful, okay? And seriously, dudes, all I did was keep them weeded until they were good on their own. And you just keep watering them. Just keep watering them. But raised beds for celery, and apparently celery love coffee grounds too. All of my spiders came down there, did they? How are you doing today, honey? How you feeling after your physio? Like, did they wear you out too much? No more typing. That's right. All right. Cut and paste, Dallas, if nothing else. So I'm canning celery today. I am going to do a video just because everybody says they want a video anyway, even though I already have one, but mine's pretty old. But God bless Heather the Needy Homesteader, man. She's got it on the ball, that girl. I tell you. I'm so pooped, Bev. I bet. How many times a week are you going to do that? Because that's why you can't do it every day. You know, it's going to wear you out. If you want to know if Bev has done a video. Okay, thank you, Terry. Yes, I started these in the house first. And I did. I started them in the house first. And the most common mistake with growing celery is people start them, and when they don't see them come up at the regular time like other seeds do, they think they're dead. Well, celery is teeny tiny little things, right? And B, they take 8 to 12 days to germinate, not 5 to 6, right? So I'm sure a lot of people have thrown celery out thinking it wasn't germinating. 3 times a week for 6 months. That's not bad, sweetheart. That's not bad. And just think, you have the right to say, hey, I need a break. But you also want to remember that the more you do with the therapists, the sooner you'll be walking. Full stop, right? But just remember, listen to your body. I know it's kind of a mixed message, but you know you better than anybody, right? Patricia, you know you better than anybody. So don't, you take charge and make sure you do only what you can, and don't push yourself past the point of exhaustion, okay? Otherwise, you're going to end up going backwards with your therapy, right? 25 pounds of carrots. Oh, hi, Stephen. I almost got another bag of carrots, but I don't really need any more. I got a half-gallon jar and a 2/3 full half-gallon jar. Gotta show you, Stephen. Oh, it looks like I showed off the nicest one already. This is from my garden, Stephen. My garden. I got so much. I wish you were closer, Stephen. I mean, honest to God, look at that. I wish you were closer because I'd share and we could share, right? But today I'm canning it, and tomorrow Raf's coming to pick celery, and I got some Soul Sisters. I was kind of hoping they would all show up at the same time. Like Steffi from Let's Homestead instead, Nat. She will have to come in the evening one day this week. And then there's Angie over in closer to Brennan's Hill. And I said, come and get it. I don't want to feel that I have to process it all. I'd rather just share it because I have everything I need because I bought some too. Those leaves look fantastic for drying and powdering. Well, that's why they're going into a paper bag right now, because you guys have convinced me to dry the best of the leaves and make celery salt. And then I'm going to dry the best of I'm going to dry some more nasturtiums, and I'm going to make nasturtium celery salt. Like herb salt. So Absolutely. But I can take waste not, want not to a whole other level. And ooh, I'm going to put leaves in my tea here. Okay, Steven's here. It's break time. I can take, I don't do smoothies. I should, but I don't. But I still have 4 beds, and those 4 beds are almost half full each, right? So you get here, pick your bed, Raf, and harvest it. So I forgot what I was talking about. So, let's talk about Wisconsin next year, Stephen. Let's manifest this into happening. Hey, Weed Wondering, in case anybody wants to know who Weed Wondering is, it's Super Hazer. So, how did the live stream go last night? If you buy pretty little jars, I have some nice little jars somewhere. What the hell did I do with them? I have some. Here they are. Look at this. I found these when I was organizing, and Melanie's mom, every time she sees, for some reason, every time she sees corks, she gives them to Mel to give to me. And I found a bunch of corks that fit these jars. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? And I'm saving all my labels from the canning jars to make them pretty. So, thank you. Nasturtium salt and celery salt coming up. Thank you for welcoming me. Went live. Live went fine. I was about to ask that. A couple of them stayed for a long time. Well, good. That's how it starts. My nephew Jeremy over at CJM Farms, he was all shocked because he had 60 people show up on his live stream. So I started teaching him the rules now, about live streams and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to thank you for that idea, because I made the one for Art and Mel. I may keep that for myself and make them a set of seasonings of my own. I'm going to make seasonings. Yay! Because I was just thinking, oh yeah, I've got to make my chicken and pork rub soon because I'm almost out. And that's like garlic and paprika. And wouldn't that be nice with some celery and nasturtium in it too? Those are very pretty and will make great gifts. I love you guys. You guys give me so much help. Not really planning to grow, but I hope that every time I go online, I can help at least one person. And that's the attitude, Super Hazer. That's the attitude. What did you think of the window? Oh my God. I immediately saw it either as being properly framed. This is what I would do, okay? If I had a doorway that fit that, I would have it professionally framed in antique oak, okay? And I would also double paint it or triple paint it, putting shatterproof glass on both sides. And I would make that my front friggin' door. Oh! Or you could make it easy and use it as a side panel to your front door. But either way, you're going to want to have to protect it with sheets of glass on both sides. All right? Make sure it's really clean before you sheet that in, right? But I just was like, oh, because you know me and stained glass. Okay, sweetheart, you take care. You take care, Candy. What goes around comes around. I don't know what that means. So, hey, all right, I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, and while I'm behind here, I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to do. And if anybody says anything, Like if anybody comes in and says, Bev, you're public, like that, just hush them, okay? All right, so we're going to do it for 3 minutes while I medicate. So I got 14 quarts of minestrone soup. One went to work with Briar today, and I had a crock pot, half full, my big black crock pot, half full of it last night. So when we got, we decided not to have supper till 8 o'clock last night because soup is pretty light anyway. Well, my soup isn't really light. So, so Howie and I are eating. And Briar goes, I'm not a big fan of soup. You put a lot of celery. Briar hates celery for some reason, right? And so Howie goes, more for me, man. So we're eating our soup and we put some Parmesan on top of it, right? And then Briar's like on the other side of the couch and he's looking at his phone and he sees Howie and I both get up for more. And he goes, he just realized it must be really bloody good, right? Because he goes, save some for me, will ya? And Howie goes, but you don't like soup, right? And Briar goes, yeah, but I'm hungry. No soup left. Well, there's a little bit, but it's mostly broth. So yeah, Briar got his, Briar realized that the soup was really good. And he ended up taking a quart of it in his lunch for lunch today. So, I mean, it's funny. It's funny. I mean, he seems to remember soup from when he was a kid as different. I don't know. That's the plan. And yes, stained glass. Yes, you like stained glass. Break time. Okay, wait a second. What am I missing with our actions? There's nothing. Oh, yeah, that's right. There's nothing happening. So if somebody comes in and, who isn't normally here and they say something about it was public, it's not public, folks. It's unlisted. You know the drill, right? So what are you going to do? Are you going to make it a door or are you going to make it a side light? My one that Howie put in the skylight that just fit the skylight, it's actually starting to buckle a little bit because it's holding its own weight. So I need him to take that out and somehow support the frame better. Maybe putting a thin line of corner molding across the center just for support. I know you joined Facebook last night. All right, now, if you don't want any of the crap of Facebook, stick to the Connected Hearts Facebook page. I post all kinds of stuff and I talk and stuff on regular Facebook, but everybody here will tell you most of my Facebook posts are right in the Connected Hearts Facebook page. Good for you. I know that took a lot for you to do that, Patricia. I know that took a lot. I had a rough night. And so, but I'm really glad that I got all my pots and pans and canning shit clean from yesterday, because now I got to can celery today. Nothing but the Connected Hearts or friendly messenger people. Yeah. Kara Krantz, I evacuated last week and I laughed and thought of you on one thing that I packed in my car. My multi-biscuit tea. Good job, darling. Good job. Kids are so funny. I've got my granddaughter hooked on onions after I told her to taste just the caramelized ones. I cannot put onions in anything. She's decided she loves them. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So anyway, give me a second. I got to start chopping again. Sounds like Gracie wants in. So I'll be right back. One of these turbines lasts me all day. All day. And I may have to roll another one at about TV time. But I won't tonight because I'm picking Briar up. But then I'll have one after that. So Anyway, I will be right back. I got to go let Gracie in. Be prepared. Oh. 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 You coming, Grace? You coming in? There you go. My goodness. You stay out of the celery. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I know. The celery bag's in the way. There. All right. Come on. Oh, my goodness. Oh, your ears are cold, baby. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Yes. You have any idea how much I love you, Gracie? Do you have any idea how much yeah? Let's keep it on the shirt. Do you have any idea how much you're loved? Hey? You love me, baby girl. So are, so are. You so are. I love you, Gracie. Thank you. All right, go lay down. There you go. Pretty sure she knows how much she's loved. All right. Back to help my son move some stuff in the back so he can start leveling for the brick pavers. Oh, yeah, you're putting your raised garden in, aren't you? Did I miss anything? Everybody says hi, Gracie. Yeah, it better not rain tomorrow in the mud. Because he's out and pulled the motor out of his car. You know, racing season, like I said, racing season, my honeydew season now comes between the end of racing season and the beginning of when he works on his car for the winter. So I have like 6 weeks, right? Because now he's getting work. He's getting, you know, he's got a couple of jobs coming in that are actually, he's trading off the body work to have his motor professionally rebuilt. Professionally. The guy who's rebuilding his motor, that's why he's all excited and yanking it out. The guy who's rebuilding his motor has built 30 race car motors, and they were all winners. It's gorgeous in Wisconsin today. I just love the print in that shirt. Oh, this whole thing. I love this. I love, you know, I love loose fitting, comfortable t-shirts, right? And tank tops. But I'm more, it takes me a while to get used to a cotton blend because I'm so cotton, you know? Hey, McCann's Heart, how's it going? I'm planting 100 bulbs of garlic tomorrow. Well, see, that's another reason I want my potatoes dug up. Oh, I should have went to the market today. Oh, well. My God, it's 20 to 3 and my day's barely started. I want to, when he digs up the potato beds, I want him to restack them, right? Into not 8 beds, but 4 beds. And I'm going to plant my garlic in there. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to plant potatoes ever again. They just wore me out this year planting them. It's sunny and chilly here. It's only like 10 degrees Celsius, which is like 40, 45 degrees, maybe 50. I'm not too sure. See, that's going to make some beautiful seasoning, isn't it? Hey, Dallas. Oh, she's already snuggled in her bed under my sewing table. But, oh my goodness. You had those potato bugs. Oh, God. Now, all the potato boxes are dead. There's no nothing but weeds in them, except for near the back where there's still potato plants. But so I had high hopes for like 80 pounds of potatoes in 8 beds, right? I'm going to be lucky if I get 40, but that'll be good. But I'm not planting potatoes next year. Hell no. Okay, I probably will. I'll just make it more manageable, and I'll only plant 4 deep beds. So what we'll do is where we had the 8 beds, we'll plant the potatoes, and as they grow, I'll just add another box and get Howie to fill them, right? Because I don't want them growing down. I want them, Yeah, it's cold. It's bloody cold. What, Gracie? What? I'm not cooked. I got nothing here. It's celery. You don't like celery. So, so my potatoes are going to get dug up, I hope. They better be. And I'm going to can celery today. And I got to get the vacuuming done and sweep the floors. And that's probably going to pooch me right there. Take care, Super Hazer. Love you, darling. Mwah. Mwah. So, oh my goodness. Here we go. That can all go to powder. Now, I don't need a whole lot of celery for canning because I'm going to be doing them in half-pint jars. So, because that's all I'll need. Can you freeze the shelled, hard-boiled eggs from Costco? Why would you freeze hard-boiled eggs? Why wouldn't you freeze raw eggs? I'm not sure what I'm trying to figure out here. If you're wanting to freeze eggs for use, know this: 4 large eggs is 1 cup of eggs. Figure out how many people are in your family. Make yourself some half-cup baggies of raw beaten egg. Mark them as half cup or 2 eggs, right? Then you've got 2 large eggs if you're baking something. If you have 4 people in your family, beat up, 2 cups of eggs and put them in a baggie. Lay them flat to freeze, right? So, but why would you want to freeze hard-boiled eggs? Take care, sweetheart. I love you. And rest, okay? Yeah, I'm having a hard time understanding why you would want to freeze hard-boiled eggs. Because I just don't understand that at all. Oh, by the way, when I go out to the garden now and I pull these out, I take this knife with me. And I'm like cutting the roots off, but leaving this so that I can handle them. What do you mean they're sold that way at Costco? They're sold hard-boiled? Are you talking about pickled eggs? They're sold hard-boiled? Why would you want to freeze them? Why would you even want to buy them? It's just like potato salad season's over. You know what I mean? So I'm having I've never seen stores selling hard-boiled eggs. That's what I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around. Yeah, that's what I'm having a hard time. Yes, Bev, in wrappers, big containers. Hard-boiled. I don't think those are hard-boiled. Those are just eggs in flats, aren't they? Hey! Hey, Ron! Walmart sells bags of hard-boiled eggs. Why the hell would anyone want to buy hard-boiled eggs? Seriously, unless you're making massive quantities of potato salad or egg salad for a church function or a picnic, right? They are hard-boiled. I would pickle them. Yeah, I wouldn't. And even then, they're not shelf stable. You got to put them in the fridge. But if I don't see why not. Like if you have an egg slicer or a chop wizard that you can like cube your eggs up and stuff, if you get a good, I don't see why you wouldn't couldn't put them in little tubs, plastic tubs, and freeze them, or even baggies, so that you can make egg salad sandwiches or whatever. But I've heard of freezing. I would try it first. Try a couple of hard boiled eggs from your fridge, like make a couple of hard boiled eggs and chop them up, put them in a baggie, and freeze them for a couple of weeks and see what happens to the texture. And if you are okay with the texture, then go ahead and do it in like sandwich size portions, salad size portions. You know what I mean? Wow. Since I have everything delivered nowadays, didn't know they had hard boiled eggs that way. I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it. Is it really expensive getting them already hard boiled? Because I mean, boiling eggs, perfect peeling eggs, only one trick I've ever found, even with fresh eggs. And I can peel an egg, a fresh egg, with a soft yolk and still have it come out whole. You want to know the trick? I've finally figured it out. You put the eggs, you let them come to room temperature, and you put them into boiling water. You don't put them in water and bring it up to a boil. You put them, maybe buy a basket if you're doing a large quantity of them, or with a big spoon or a spider, but you put them in boiling water. And you boil them, I think you add 3 minutes for every egg in the pot. I'm not sure, but you boil the pot at least hard boil 15 minutes if you have more than 6 eggs. And then you take them out and you immediately put them into ice water, and then drop them in a pot and shake the pot a couple of times to crack the shells and drop them back into the ice water. Okay? Boiling water, cold water, crack them, cold water, and the shells you can rub them between your hands and they'll just come right off. I can only peel hard-boiled eggs that have been pressure cooked. I'm telling you. Hear me on this. Put them into boiling water. Boil them for the required amount of time, and then immediately strain them and drop them, maybe from a distance, into a sink of cold water, like ice water. Okay? And then just start cracking them on the side of the sink and then rubbing them through the ice water. They'll peel like a dream. I swear. And that's fresh eggs too. And it didn't work for you. Wow. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I guess. Oh, well, there you go. I mean, but I'm not an Instapot person, right? So, let me see here. Oh, little Mr. Sluggy. See? Gotta put him outside. What's that, Gracie? What is that? What is that? It's a slug. You're a bug hunter. I'm actually going to flush him down the toilet. There's nothing worse than cutting vegetables and squishing like a slug or something, or a worm or something. Oy, oy, oy. My cats play with it and then eat. That's what Gracie does, right? But she's got a thing for bees because she got her face swelled up by one. So she hunts them now. Like That's just total boggles my mind that she now has it out for them. Four different types of pickled eggs. Ooh. I think I'm going to grow white globe turnips next year. Somebody gave me seeds. Pretty sure it was Taylor Dykeman sent me seeds. And toilet vacation for Mr. Slug. And I forgot what I was just saying. What was I just saying? How long have I been on here? Almost an hour. What was I just saying? Oh, well, yeah, but you don't can them. They come out really, really bitter when you can the white globe. But I am going to grow some for making pickled turnips next year so that I don't have to buy it when I make shawarmas. So yeah, I'm planning on putting in some white globe turnips next year. Not as many potatoes, not as much celery, but I'm definitely going to up my bean game because I have a half-gallon jar of dried beans that I've gotten, dehydrated beans from my garden, and I had like 40 pints of beans, but I bought those at the market, right? So I really want to, get down to the staples, right? So next year I want to put in, let me see how many beds I have. The potato beds are going down from 8 to 4, and 2 of them are going to be in garlic. Swirly party for the slug. Older books, yes, but never had a problem. I'm going to put in more beans, less potatoes. I'm planting garlic really soon. But where Briar lives, he has a neighbor who's like a little homesteader on their little quarter acre. And I stopped to talk to them because I was really happy to see it. They had chickens and they had a little greenhouse and they had rows of garlic, which I thought was corn at first. And I pulled over one day and I said, that corn is going to get eaten by deer because people in this neighborhood feed them. And he goes, it's not corn, it's garlic. So I'm going to go back and ask him if he has any garlic for sale that I can plant because I want to put 2 beds of garlic in. Oh, yeah, I know. What are we talking about, books? What are we talking about? Canning books. 4 different types of pickled eggs. Okay, totally missed something there. Make sure you have a high acid content. Yeah, 56 minutes. So, I don't care. As long as I got folks hanging out with me, I'm staying till the celery's done. Look at Steven! Look at my celery! Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? I think I have found the one thing I'm tentatively good at growing. Oh, the older recipes and older canning books. Right. Do you collect books too, Stephen? You look like a kind of guy who likes a good book. Just curious. Next year, I'm growing more green beans, less kale. I'm growing kale next year too. So I have to actually make a list. Let's hang on, guys. I got to check for sluggies. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cute? That looks like it should be in a Caesar. There's the alcoholic. I see this and go, oh, Caesar. Okay. I know. You know what? I'm just really, really grateful. I gotta cut these ends off. They're a little rough looking. I'm just really, really grateful that I had raised beds. Because that pig, I'm pretty sure there's only one. That pig would have decimated my garden. It would have destroyed all my bean seed stock. It would have. I'm grateful the pumpkins protected my beans. because I'm letting them go to seed, eh? You only read for information. Oh, really? But then again, I read biographies and stuff too. And I do take cookbooks to bed occasionally for a riveting story, because you know what? There's so many things, and the older the recipes, the more valid they are for today, because we're now cooking with simpler ingredients. Like, I laugh every time I see those chef in a box things that come to your door and you just got to take 30 minutes. And everybody has a wonderful time cooking supper together. And I say to Howie, I don't understand. I really don't understand why people would order food all pre-measured and then bring it to your house so you can cook it. And Howie goes, Bev, there's actually a lot of people who are professional people and they travel, or they're not home enough to keep food in the fridge, right? And if they want a home cooked meal and they eat and they're used to eating in restaurants. So he said, for instance, he said, if I'm away on training, I have a food budget, right? He said, if and he stays, when he stays in those they're like a suite. They have a little dishwasher, a little sink and garburator, a little, 2 burner or 4 burner small apartment size stove with an oven and everything. He said, for someone, like, if I'm away for a week and I don't want to eat in a restaurant and I'm sick of bagels, maybe I'll order one of those boxes. And I went, okay, now it's starting to make sense. But just I cannot hold books anymore. I have to use a holder. So cookbooks are the most I do. Wow. Yeah, I know, Stephen, but you got to give yourself some time for pleasure reading in the wintertime. I mean, seriously, dude. Um, as soon as this celery is canned, well, I've already told you what the rest of my thing is, but I can see the light at the end of the tunnel now. I've got to dig up my rutabagas soon, or they're going to start getting eaten. And Howie's got to dig up the potatoes. And oh, I'm so glad those pigs did not get into my pumpkin. Or that pig, those pigs. I only saw one set of hoof marks, so I'm pretty sure it was just one pig. I pleasure Netflix and others. Oh, I love Netflix. I love Netflix. I just finished watching the whole Dusk Till Dawn series. It was fun. It was fun. Maybe to those boxes are teaching some people to cook from scratch. True, there's that too, Sue. So, but I mean, you're talking to somebody who's scratch cooked my whole life, right? Want to know what your celery tastes like, if it tastes better than store-bought. I rarely eat celery raw. Because I don't have good teeth. Wow. It's really strong. If you put celery leaves of store-bought in your mouth, this part, you get that really heavy burst of flavor. This celery tastes like that. It's really strong. So yeah. Sorry. Get the string out of there. It's really, really, really abundant with flavor. Absolutely. It doesn't taste watery at all. Like, it's got the juice, but it's really strong. I'm doing Taggart on Amazon, 27 seasons. What's Taggart? The difference from startups in the 90s. I'm not sure I understand what that means. But yeah, it's really, really good. It's really good. Hang on a second here. Free floss with every bite. Well, you can peel it, eh? You can peel it. You know what else is really tasty that people throw away is broccoli stalks. Trust me. You know them big thick stalks? Peel all the woody outside skin off them, cut the dry part off the bottom, and slice them into sticks. They're just I would eat that over celery. Broccoli stalks. Trust me, they're really, really delicious. It's a series. Oh. Okay. All right. So what's everybody else up to today? Aside from rescuing our gardens from the impending... I thought about buying apples when I went to take Briar as lunch today, but I got so much on the go right now. I think if I get my celery done today, and if Howie digs the potatoes up tomorrow, they're all going to have to be washed and canned later this week. And I also have editing to do today. You want to see the minestrone soup, and you want to see how far that big bag of carrots got me. So, well, that's what I was told you wanted to see. So, oh, they make good coleslaw too. Oh, most seasonings will intensify to the point of bitterness. It depends if there's sugar in the recipe, but no, I've made home canned mincemeat with green tomatoes, and I put seasonings in that. So no, I'm going to say no, it's fine. But there are certain dry seasonings you don't want to add into things that are acidic, because they will war with each other in flavor, and they will become bitter. Make sense? Turnips make good coleslaw too. I didn't see. We're not big coleslaw. Well, you know what? That's a lie. Howie loves Look at the leaves. Howie loves. Maybe I should juice some of them. Howie loves coleslaw. What if I juice the leaves and put the juice in with canning? Nah, forget it. That's just too much bullshit. I'm already getting in trouble because I've been told there's no safe way to can celery. Well, that's not true. That's not true. It's just not, nobody's ever added it into the books because nobody ever thought of canning celery because it's a fresh summer vegetable. So that's why it's not in the books. Right? Look at that! I'm so proud. Black radishes are in, and so are my celery root. Now, what do you do with celery root, Stephen? Like, educate me here a little bit, because, celery root, kohlrabi, and patty pan squashes. Oh, you're working. You're looking forward to making me watch seasoning. Oh, yeah, I guess I should video that, eh? I wasn't even thinking about video. I was just thinking, oh, yeah. So, when I'm done, I'm going to show you how to make a really nice gift basket for the holidays. Maybe you may know some people who are struggling, and you want to, make them a basket of pickles and turnips and all these things to help with their Thanksgiving dinner. But, I'm working over here. Okay, what's your question? First off, what do you use celery root for? I know it's like a ball, and I've heard some people using it instead of potatoes for French fries. Am I correct with that? And how do you cook patty pan squash? And is it worth growing? Because I have some seeds, and I'm going to grow summer squash next year. If I grow it, how do I cook it? And what the hell do you do with kohlrabi? Those are the questions. Season 11, Taggart dies. What is Taggart? I'm going to have to look that up. Oh, you're doing spiced pears. Well, what you can do, Joe Mama, is you can put whole allspice, whole cloves, stick cinnamon, and ball nutmeg, right? Like a chunk of ball nutmeg. You can simmer those in your simple syrup because they're whole. And then when you get it to the flavor you want, you just take them out, rinse them off, and like take them out. Does that make sense? And that way, you've got the seasoning perfect and it's not going to intensify over time. Whoa, give me the beat, boys, to free my soul. Wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Kohlrabi, you slice raw, dip in salt. Oh, so you eat it raw. How can you save it for winter? I don't advise canning it because it comes out tan colored and tasting like cooked milk. Try freezing it. Try freezing it, but as it freezes, shake it up and, keep shaking it so it doesn't separate as it's freezing. I'm going to try that with some milk. But in plastic jugs, or you know what I mean? Yes, celery root is a thicker tuberous type of root that can be used for soup, stews, etc., slaws, etc. Has much more intense flavor than your standard celery. Oh, okay. Patty pans, sauteed, dehydrating soups, stews. Now when you say, okay, this is how dense I am. When you say patty pan saute, do you leave the skins on them and the seeds in them, or do you gotta peel them and hollow them out like pumpkins? Like, seriously, dude, I'm like totally inept. I think they're cute, but I've never, like, I see them and go, what the hell am I gonna do with that? If you can use it as evaporated milk. Oh, you can can milk if you use it as evaporated milk. There you go. But I wouldn't, I would use it for baking more than anything. Like I would, if you're going to can it, use it in baking because I have canned goat's milk. That's how I was thinking. Just needed to see if it intensifies so I can adjust accordingly. This will be an experiment for a few jars. The rest just plain pears and syrup. I don't have enough. My pears aren't pretty enough to can. So I'm just going to make pear sauce. Kohlrabi. Kohlrabi pickled slaw. You can even use the leaves and substitute for cabbage, for example, cabbage rolls. That is a Baltic European recipe. Oh my God, Stephen, listen to you. Why don't you have you don't have a channel because you work too hard. That's right. I was going to say, why don't you have a channel? Well, because, he works his ass off every day, right? I have canned vitamin D milk. I don't even know what that is. Do you know what makes me crazy? Is ever since, you know how when the free trade agreement changed before COVID, and he opened our dairy industry to allowing milk from other countries in, right? And so I had to go on a stint for a while reminding people to buy the milk with the cow on it. And I talked to store managers and they were clueless. And I would say, look, he said, but look, these are all the same company. This is Beatrice, or this is Quebec, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I said, companies. And he goes, yeah. I said, it doesn't mean the milk that these companies are purchasing is from Canada. Only that symbol, the little cow that says supporting Canadian dairy farmers, means it's Canadian milk. And he goes, and he phoned the milk company and they said, oh, no, 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 no. It's, we're a Canadian company, blah, blah, blah. But they danced all around it. But so I've educated a lot of people on just because it's a Canadian company doesn't mean it's Canadian milk. And I support our dairy farmers. It's not that I have anything, but I do have against Fairlife milk. 50% more protein and 50% less sugar than regular milk. Who the hell put sugar in regular milk? Who the hell put sugar? And then I found out it's allowed in the States to add sugar in small amounts without putting it on the label. Why? Sugar, I got to tell you people, because I fight it every day. Sugar is an addiction that's going to kill the world. We got to get off of refined sugars. Maple syrup, real maple syrup, yes. Sorghum, yes. Molasses, yes. Corn syrup, refined bleached white sugar from genetically modified beets, raw cane sugar, yeah. Right? Hey, Mr. Bucky R. Treat patty pans no different than any other summer squash. That tells me a lot because I peel my zucchinis if I'm gonna. Can you can them? I'm gonna have to look it up on YouTube how to cook patty pans squash because you found sugar as an ingredient in salt. That's right, but this is what they're doing. They're putting it in stuff. Okay. I've seen my sister-in-law, Karen, who is a diabetic, eat multigrain Cheerios. Multigrain Cheerios don't need sugar. Why? Because they're covered in it. And I've seen her put sugar on top. Okay. Howie eats Cheerios, plain Cheerios, no sugar. The only time there's sweetening on his cereal is when I make him steel cut oatmeals, and he fights it, but he eats it. But I have to dress it up for him. Should I do a video on how I cook oatmeal for Howie? I slow cook it, like I soak it the night before, like I put it in water the night before, and then I slow cook it with a little bit of salt, and then I put it in a pie plate, and then I daub it with butter, and then I go with maple syrup, and then I pour a little bit of half and half cream over it. That's how I get Howie to eat oatmeal. I just throw raisins in it and a little bit of molasses and in mine, and I'm good to go, right? And some milk. I think I'm going to just switch to using pickling, canning salt and everything. The only ingredient used in it is salt. Well, that and pink Himalayan salt, right? But I've noticed the first time I bought the ground pink Himalayan salt at Costco to the next time I bought one, there's a big space. Takes me a long time to use that amount of salt. I'm finding rock grit in it. You know what I mean? So I think they're being less careful. Hey, Lisa. But yeah, that's what I do. I've always used pickling salt for just about everything. Unless I'm seasoning my food, and then I would use pink Himalayan salt, but now I buy it pre-ground. You know what? Pink Himalayan salt is saltier than normal, right? It's saltier than normal. But it also has natural iodine in it, which your body needs. Okay? So, and there's sea salt too, absolutely. Is that you, darling? You're standing at the kitchen sink in your underwear.
I left my oily, dirty clothes in the shop.
Oh, you left your oily, dirty clothes in the shop. Thank you, darling. You going to dig potatoes now?
No,
okay. Coffee and a bagel. There you go. Hey, can you, that little bit of leftover soup in the crock, can you flush that down the toilet for me? Okay, thank you. I'm just making you aware it's there. We had a really good crop of celery, hun. Like I think, but I'm gonna, the little farm, the little homestead across the road from where Briar lives. He grew garlic. I'm gonna stop and see if he's got garlic for sale because once the potatoes are dug, I want those beds to go back into being four higher beds. I'm gonna put. I'm going to put garlic in two of them, and the other two will do stacking potatoes next year. So that okay. Enjoy your bagel and your coffee, baby. Sorry about that, folks. Marital moment. Please, yes, please, about the video for Howie. Oh, his oatmeal. Okay. No, he's not going to dig potatoes in his undies. He left his dirty clothes in the shop because he pulled his motor. God bless him for not bringing those clothes into the house. It's that simple. Oh, I'm getting there, folks. I'm getting there. Oh. Ha, 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 ha. Every time I do this. I wonder how my cousin Dee Dee's celery, because she got celery leeks. My leeks, I got a few. They went into the minestrone soup. But she got celery, leeks, and tomatoes from me in the spring. I wonder how's hers did. Where's Jeff is watching again. Hi, Jeff. I wonder how they did because if they did good, great. If not, I should tell her to come and get some. Actually, I should. You know what? I'm gonna text her. Oh no, right. I got to use my phone for that. So, are you buffering? You know what? It's been an hour and 22 minutes. This hour has an additional 22 minutes. Canadians will get that joke. Oh, Bev, can I use plain cornstarch in freezing cheese? I don't see why not. I use tapioca. Gracie, don't you make a mess with your food. She has this habit of moving it around with her nose to see if there's any treats hidden because we've often put, a bit of chicken or something in there. But now she shows her displeasure when there's no extras in her food by throwing it all over the floor, right? F5 worked. Yeah, so I don't see why. He's so easy to make plush. If you're buffering, just hit F5. Waxing cheese is something you don't necessarily need to do. Commercial cheese you buy in the store is got a lot of moisture in it as in compared to old farmer's cheese. Okay? So if you want, what you need to do is you need to get the blocks of cheese and you cut them in big cubes. And then you set them on a rack to dry. You can take some butter, unsalted butter, and rub it all over the surface and then let it drain. Okay? And every day you flip it over and you let the moisture drain and you let the moisture drain. And then you keep buttering it until the cheese itself makes its own hard shell. Make sense? This waxing of cheese is really totally unnecessary. Yeah, I don't see why not. Tapioca starch, corn starch, potato starch, don't matter to me. Right? I mean, I use tapioca and potato starch because the only thing I think cornstarch is good for is powdering a baby's bum. Or my, nooks and crannies in the summertime when things get hot. Right? What's 5 p.m.? Thanks for the reminder. Cat's special canned food night. Each get half a small can every Saturday, and they don't let me forget it's Saturday. I bet they don't. Arthur's that way. Arthur's cats are the same way. Apparently, he's like, there's certain times he feeds them and stuff, and there's certain times they get. I don't know, but he's very vigilant with his cats. They're kids, man. I worry. No, they're going to be great parents. They're going to be excellent parents. So I just can't wait for that. Do you dry potato water and make potato starch? No, no. I get potato starch. If you do the potato water, it's because it's already cooked starch. You want raw starch. And so when I'm grating, if I'm grating potatoes for, say, hash browns, I will grate them into a bowl of water, and then I will take the potatoes out, and then I will strain off the water because the starch will sit on the bottom of the bowl. And you slowly strain off the water until you can get at the starch with, say, a spatula, and you spread it out on a piece of parchment, let it dry. Wednesday treat day. Each get three little ones. They're 13 years old now. My goodness. Did your leeks do well? No, Stephen. My leeks did not do well. I had the biggest one I had was maybe that big. So it was not a good year for leeks this year. But I'm still going to be stubborn and plant them next year because I love leeks. I love the mild flavor. I love your leeks. Holy Scheisenheimer. Holy crap. I don't want to say the thoughts that those leaks gave me, but latex was involved. Wow. No, my leeks did not do well. So thank you for reminding me about the nasturtiums. When I've got this celery in the canner, I'm going to go out and pick nasturtium leaves and flowers. So yeah, my leeks didn't do well at all. Not this year. Last year they did, but I blame myself because I let my sister plant them and I didn't tell her to like water them each row you put in. And they just kind of shriveled and none of them did really well. But I need Stephen, I need your secret on leeks, man. I need that. I need those leeks. What breed are they? When do you start them? And how far apart do you plant them? Because they were huge. They were huge. Anyway, we are at like an hour and a half here, folks. So I'm going to have to get going and get things done, or I'm going to be here all day, and I haven't even figured out what's for supper. Ooh, maybe I'll take a couple of steaks out. Maybe I will. Anyway, I leave my shredded cheese air dry for an hour before freezing it. Oh, if you don't want to add additional starch, that makes beautiful sense, Furby. Lay it out on cookie sheets, your shreds. Flash freeze them, then put them in a bag. They shouldn't clump up in the freezing process after that. That's brilliant. Never fooled with leeks. I had great success last year. But this year, no. Kielbasa tonight with peppers, onions, and tomatoes over rice. We had minestrone soup last night. Howie's going to bitch if I do a nut because we had spaghetti the night before, so no more tomatoes. No tomatoes are going to be allowed in tonight's recipe. So, anyway, all right. Let me just dump this into the pot. Oh, I'm getting there. And for all those who care to, please help me close with a spiritual blessing for each other and for the planet today. We know there's a lot of media encouraging dark acts, and I just call it darkness. There's a lot of negativity in the world today in the form of poor health, families being divided, isolation, addiction, political bullcrap, all these groups, trying to divide people and deface life. All these things are going on. And we come here to love and support each other, but we also want to give a blessing out to the world to help push back against the negative darkness with light, right? Okay. And for those who don't want to stay, that's your bag. That's okay. No judgment. All right. But for those who do, let's take a nice deep breath. And don't let the fact that I call my higher power God change your mind about adding your spiritual blessing into the mix. Because guess what? You do you, I do me. Everybody's relationship with their higher power is their own, right? It's just that simple. All right. So hey, God, it's us. And thank you, God, for a beautiful, sunny, cool day for my husband to dig potatoes in. Okay. Sorry, God, I don't mean to try and manipulate. Um, Thank you, God, for bringing us together so that we can love and support and be together with each other. I know I don't always see the chat, but I appreciate, I appreciate we all coming together and being here and having like a family meeting every day. But God, we want to share this love and this light with the rest of the world. We want to help in some way try and heal some of the negativity that's going on. So, God, please help us spread our love, our light, and our energy to beat back the darkness that's happening in the world today. Please, God, just take it and go. And for our own negative things, anything we may have woke up negatively with this morning, please, God, let us just drop those behind and let us go forward into the day in the light with love, peace, patience, and tolerance. Let us be instruments of your love and peace. Yeah, yeah, thank you for that, God. Amen. Namaste. Amen. Shalom. Peace be with you. Merry meet. Blessed be Miigwech. I think it's I don't know what the I know our Jewish friends are doing are coming into Rosh Hashanah. I know it's a gathering time. Please be careful of social distancing. Make your gatherings a little bit smaller, maybe. You don't want to come out of a holiday with sick people, right? So this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half acre homestead saying, I got celery to do, and then I got to deal with nasturtiums and then potatoes. All right. And I've got editing to do too. So we'll see you later. Maybe even tomorrow. Take care. God bless.